you don't really know what's going to happen.
We want to make sure that everyone can be chasing that American dream.
Sometimes the only way to succeed is just to not give up. Now they know
The other side.
All right, David, how are we? We're good to go. All right, everybody. Another rousing day.
Now
here.
you want to show up right as we start.
Right as we start.
We have
Come
a
on in.
guest
Everybody,
speaker.
Tina Vlachos is in the town. Come on in.
Glass.
Guest
Tina
speaker.
Vlachos, come on over. Come on by.
Can we bring in another mic? Can we have another mic? Duel the podcast?
Here we go.
Double up.
What we do need is another cup, though.
Here.
Do.
Yeah. Just drink the water real fast.
Here.
Just slam your water.
Slam the water.
Oh, waterfall for you.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That, hey, WSU, look at that.
Got you. My lips didn't
God.
even touch it. All over my face.
But he did drink it the entire first podcast.
Thank God
There
I
you
didn't wear a
go.
white shirt.
Okay, our landlord Tina is in the house right now.
Cheers, Tina. To Tina.
She is a real estate agent to the stars. Done a wonderful job. Been a good friend for a very, very long time.
Insurance agent.
And now she is our landlord, and she drives a tough bargain, but we pay on time, so she's nice.
And a race car.
And a race car. She has a really nice race car. You gonna hang out for a couple minutes, or you gonna have to head back? All right, shut the door then. Grab a chair from in there.
Yeah,
and
come hang out and see how it's done.
Grab
So
a
you,
chair.
you can be on our podcast next, and you can determine if you want to be on here after you see this.
She's definitely
5
not
minutes.
gonna want to after this. I promise you. Oh my gosh! All right, well we were just getting started, so you perfect time. So we'll just keep going. So today we have with us Tina, of course.
Tina.
It's all about me. Okay, so we got Tina, and then we also have Mr. Nate White today. My God.
It's a lot, I know. Stimulates the brain. It's a lot. Gets you woken up.
This is my pump up music, and everybody who watches the podcast knows this. This is my pump up music. This is how I get going, and I do the nice slow fade because once a sound man, always a sound man. That's just the way it goes. You didn't even notice it went out.
No, honestly, that was some. I'm very impressed.
I mean, as far as multitasking goes, that was one of them.
Add that to the resume.
Exactly. All right, Nate White, owner of several businesses, entrepreneur extraordinaire, adventurer, mountaineer, all-around family man, terrible golfer, and all-around great guy. Welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, anytime. So, tell everybody who you are, a little bit about your background, and then we'll just dive in and jump in and see what happens today.
Yeah, okay. My name's Nathan White. I was born in Vienna, Austria. Grew up in the Soviet Union. Moved to the States in late to mid-90s. Grew up the rest of the time here in Vancouver, Washington. Columbia River High School grad. From there, dude, I'm going to claim Ohio State for a brief stint. Enjoyed a little bit too much of the functions of the fraternity, and then found myself at Clark College real quick. Go Penguins! Boom.
That's what they are, the Penguins?
Yeah, the Clark College
I
Penguins.
never knew
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them a shout out.
They don't have a great track team.
But
good
honestly,
bobsledders.
I didn't know there was a track team, so if that highlights their capabilities as like an athletic group, and then a little bit of WSUV after that. Go
Cougs.
And then
It's the worst that he controls that sound button sometimes, dude. I swear to God.
First of all, you love it.
I do love it, but on moments like that, I wish I could just, hype it up a bit. But anyway, go Cougs, you were saying?
yeah.
There we go.
We're cooging it right now. We're 3 minutes in. We're cooging this
it's already
podcast.
happening. It's already happening.
We've literally already lost the lead.
Yeah, damn it.
It's crazy. We scored a touchdown, and then we fumbled.
Dude, from there, I had a job at Just Sports at the Vancouver Mall. Get to selling lids, bro.
Yeah.
Selling caps, and that job led me to get a job as the district manager up in Seattle, which then kind of cascaded, followed. The company got bought out several times, and ended up with a company called Fans in the Utah Jazz as the director of marketing and sales, business to business specifically. From there, kind of started my side hustle, and that started in a couple different ways, but big one was flipping houses, probably the greatest bull market in real estate history. So you could kind of blindly throw a dart at the board, and you seem to be successful, and did that from 2012 to 2018 until kind of made it my full-time gig doing construction. Commuted for a while, started Hammer Falls Construction of March of 2020. I think there's some other events that started in March of 2020 as well.
Well, I don't remember.
I don't recall either. All right, and
I'd
then
like to not remember.
so that was fun. And
We call it BC.
Yeah, BC. Got my real estate license, own a construction company, have a small marketing company, as well as a industrial, commercial, electrical company as well. So kind of developed in a few different things, and yeah, it's been fun.
So you're bored a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, super bored. My wife would wish I was more bored, and yeah.
Dude, doesn't she know who she married?
She did. We moved her family onto our property for that reason too. You know, so support's available and it's still family. So yeah, and kind of developing that so I can be kind of in the season of developing the business in a place where I can actually be home more. So yeah.
There you go. Taking a step back a bit.
Yeah, 100%. It's getting to the point where we're reaching that 5-year mark where a lot of the roles I'm replacing myself with, and we have a phenomenal team, great leadership core, and we're able to slowly replace my time to kind of, we all say, focus on the big picture, and that big picture is life, it's family, it's kids, and God knows that people need to be involved in raising their kids more, and I'm equally responsible for that. So yeah. And
all sunshine and rainbows the entire way, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you ask me, yes. The classic comment I always say is another day in paradise.
Yeah.
You guys have heard me say that.
I know. Do you remember what I say every time you tell me that? I say that's what white people say when they're miserable. It's either that or living the dream. How you doing, Val? Living the dream. I'm like, that guy's about to get divorced.
Yeah.
This is not what you want to be hearing. Get out of here. Oh, living the dream, bud. Like, bro,
No, when I say that, I probably just shot over a 90. So, yeah. No, let's be real, 95. So,
he's like, let's be real honest.
My tolerance for stress is pretty high. So, golf is what gets under my breath. So, you know.
That's true, though.
You know when a really calm guy, like, just blades a wedge and just hits into the ground? Like, I can drive 230, but if I blade my wedge, I can go 300.
That's a good golf joke. Yeah. It's just a little skull.
Yeah.
Just a little knuckler.
Just a little Pissman's mustard on that.
Man, I'm telling you, Top Golf is where it's at. You guys are all walking out in the sun, getting too hot, and doing all the exercise, getting the farmer's tan. You just be playing.
Hot.
Yeah. Oh, well, depending on when you golf, I guess. Anytime I've been golfing on the events in the summer for the Chamber of Commerce and stuff, you're out there for 9 hours, burning up.
Bro, you're built for the heat. Look at you.
Yeah, but I don't like the farmer's tan.
Shout out to the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for what you're doing to the community and for the community.
Yeah, for my golf.
Thanks for that. Yeah,
thank you very much. Okay, so you two though have known each other for a hot minute.
Oh yeah.
When did you guys meet? Pee-wee football?
5th, 6th grade?
6th grade. No, it was less than that. 4th grade. Fourth grade.
Yeah, okay.
4th grade is when we first met. And we were on the same football team for CCYF. CCYF was it. We started off in the Steelers together. Mm-hmm. Was your dad a coach or was he just always there?
My dad was a coach, yeah.
Yeah, he was a coach there, yeah. Wasn't sure.
Or was he unemployed?
Yeah.
My dad was present.
Okay, his dad was present there. There you go. Either way, but his
body was there.
His dad was super cool. He was cool. I think he was the most feared kid on the entire football team. And the reason is he had this death stare when he was getting the ball where he just didn't look at you, he looked through you. And he had piercing blue eyes that glazed in the sun and just fucking went through everyone's soul. Also, he had a puka shell necklace on all the time. And
that's true.
And bleached tips, spiky hair.
Hey, there we go.
Back in the day, dude. And you
got
were
about 5 years till that's back in style.
It was
all things come back around.
Exactly.
That's what they say.
And he was just stacked to the moon in the freaking 4th grade, just gonna freaking tank. So he was my number one favorite person to hit because I always felt good just fucking rocking heads with you and not remembering it. And concussions and stuff. I think I'm on my 6th one. It explains a lot, I know.
Dude, I have literally only grown 2 inches since then. I'm not joking. I have been nearly the same size since like 6th, 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah. You should have, like, when I was in 6th and 7th grade, I was like, I'm destined. I'm destined.
Man, you thought you were going to go pro?
Oh, no. Then I grew like 2 more inches, and then it was just like,
never happened.
Maybe you should consider like a sport like, I don't know, like track or golf.
Badminton.
You know? Yeah, badminton. I don't think basketball or football is in your future. My last name's also White, so respectfully, there were some hindrances there as well, mostly family related.
Yeah.
You know, golf was a big thing for our family.
The scouting report on me when I was playing basketball was that I was deceptively athletic. You could use that for code for whatever you want, but it was deceptively real 3-and-D guy, real glue guy.
Real glue guy. Hey, great fundamentals. Great fundamentals. Oh, smart heads.
You'd think that my last name ended with Vitch.
Smart heads up play. Real smart heads up play.
Real smart player. It's like, my gosh, the racial undertones in sports commentating is through the roof.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, real heady player. And then you get like a black guy up there like, oh, he's really articulate. Like, what is he supposed to be? What is he know? Like, whatever. These people are crazy. The way they say it. He's so articulate.
They ride the line very well.
Of course he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no one ever said that about Peyton Manning. No one was like,
Peyton Manning's
really articulate.
Yeah, not once. That's never happened.
You know what? Let's hijack this. I'd like to talk about social purpose.
Yeah, let's do it. Jump on.
It's a free range of whatever you want to talk about, my man.
My goodness.
We just can't talk about. Never mind.
It's really funny that you brought up football because I mean that's kind of great. That's a great example of just like a very entrepreneurial like story. The year before, honestly, I didn't know my left from my right. I wore soccer cleats to football the year before on the Broncos. Side note, only undefeated team I'd ever been on in my life. I remember when we went undefeated and won a championship, my dad looked me in the eye and said, "You may never do this again." And that's right.
That's right.
The truth about it is like they call me Pele and who. I was fast as all get out.
Yeah,
I've been fast for a long time. But man, I could not catch the ball, and I didn't know what my left from my right is. So it's really hard to put a player out there that's like that dyslexia is really struggling with. So then like, man, I kid you not, that season was just an eye opener, and I had a paper route. So I would ride my bike for Columbia, the Columbia. Shout out to Columbia. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. First job. I was a paper boy for them, and I would get up every single day, and I would deliver the paper and do a 5-mile bike ride as like a 5th, 6th grader. So that allowed me. I think that obviously played into some physical, and I also grew a ton, which that also helps too. But long story short, the next year, it kind of came back with like, okay, like I want to play. I want to put in the effort. I want to put in the time. I want to do well. And I think the combination of having a role where you're just like the job required you to be active. It required you to be out. I was out there every single day. Sunday, I would do the route 4 times because the Sunday paper was.
Bro, you're talking to a 6th grade paper boy. I get it. Bro, that was my first job too.
They prevented us from unionizing when they gave it to the adults. So I think that's where we lost control as kids.
That's what most 12-year-olds are thinking about. They're like, what we could really use?
We could use benefits. A union rep.
We need some retirement.
They're giving all our routes
a 403B, please.
They're giving all our routes to adults with Honda CRXs. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, unbelievable. Next thing you know, it's just going to be Amazon delivering the mail.
Dude, we could talk about that too. Talk about like some growth plans for Amazon.
Yeah, when there's a market you're untapped in. Mail. Just eliminate. They would be do it so much cheaper than the Postal Service. Tell me I'm wrong.
We should start a letterhead.
They're already there.
It's like, actually, I have it saved.
So from very early on, you had let me ask you this question: do you remember the feeling and the reason why you got the paper route?
Yeah, money for sure. One, I got the paper route because my dad always pushed like, hey, you can do anything you want as long as you pay for it, good or bad. My dad was very open about that. You want a cell phone? Pay for your cell phone. You want this? Pay for that. You want these video games? Go pay for it. My dad was always very supportive, always helped me get those opportunities, always took me to those opportunities, always vouched for me. But he would take me as far as what I couldn't do myself. Like I can't drive myself down to the Columbia and like apply for the job. He would take me as far as it required him, not more, not less. And there's stories like that throughout my whole life. My dad always went the step to make sure I had the ability to do it, but I had to execute the action. And
it's the old lead a horse to water.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that was a big part of it. And my dad allowed. It's very similar how. So we have 4 boys at home. It's very similar to how we raise our boys. It's wide pastures, strong fences. Give them space to experience the world. Give them space to make mistakes. Give them space, but then there's a clear set boundary line. You do not do this. you don't go past this.
Give me an example of in your life what is a strong fence.
Yeah, stealing, lying, being like, it goes back to like, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. That's where it starts. And if you can show that through your behavior and your actions time and time again throughout history, the natural result is people want to operate and work with you. Because even if you make a mistake, you don't earn a customer for life by doing a good job. You earn a customer for life by how you handled your mistakes.
That's a
Good line.
That's a great line.
So-
I totally agree. We call it relational equity.
Yeah. And it's just like, so one thing we always talk about is like with our kids, those boundaries are strong. We're like, yeah, dude, climb the tree. Once you get past 10 feet, then I'm going to stand under you. But like, climb the tree, go hurt yourself. Get in a fight with your siblings. Like practice being experienced in certain things. And we see the result in our kids. Titan, we were much more cautious. So that comes out in his personality now.
Yeah.
Atlas, we let go. You can see a lot more. And then throughout all the boys, all 4 of them, their personality reflects not only their own self, but also how we parented during that season of life. And you see that as an outcome on each single one of them. And that translates well because like it's how I do my business. It's like my employees aren't my employees. My employees are my family. I see them just as much as I see my kids most days. There's more accountability because we're also adults, right? We have to, if we want to perform well for our family and see our family be successful, we all have to put in. But at the same time, like I really care about the people I work with. I really care about them because I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for walking the journey with them. Any successful entrepreneur, anybody out there, there's a lot of things that require your time. And you can be successful off of your gasoline alone. It truly you can. However, you create the multiplication when other people buy in to what you believe in. The true success comes when you create an image, a direction, and a foundation of community that allows you to be successful. Nothing was built by me alone. Augustus couldn't have walked all of Europe without an army. And that army believed in him. That army believed in the vision of what he was pronouncing, which was Rome. And for my case, I'm just trying to create a miniature community. I want to be in Vancouver for the rest of my life, and I want to create happiness, hope, and home for the people around it. And my guys believe in that. That's where like success comes in, whether it's like your family, your employees, and mixing those together in a safe, healthy manner. Because you can also overcare where you allow yourself to be taken advantage of too. The thing about being a giver is takers never stop taking. So it's really hard to keep your cup full. So you have to be careful in how you filter that. And sometimes it's putting people around you to help filter it for you, who are going to protect you. I think as I'm growing in my experience in building these businesses, the biggest thing in this season is letting go of things that I always had hands on. Biggest thing is letting go and trusting the people that we've put in position and creating an opportunity for success. Accountability is not a threat. Accountability is also responsibility for me to coach. It's responsibility for me to give direction. It's responsibility for me to create an outline of like what the standards are in your business. And those facets allow for people to accelerate in, because once somebody understands their responsibilities, there's a clear direction of success, which allows them to go do what they do best.
That was beautifully well said, man. Good, well done.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Yes, cheers to that, dude. Fuck.
Understood.
Jeez, that's a whole book right there. If you want the full story, you can buy his book.
Hey, you can put this in AI and it can transcript it into a book, right?
Yeah, that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect.
I do think there's something beautiful about having a vision that's big enough to fit other people's visions inside of it.
100%. 100%.
But you did mention that you do, like you said, you have the parameters you set for yourself, and you got to fail and let them fall off the tree and stuff like that. Growing this business to what it is now with the family culture and everything, there's got to be some times that you've fallen forward, right? We'll use that in terms of just falling down. Okay. Fell forward. What was the first time where you fell forward and you're like, shit, I need to make a pivotal change right now and implement a new process or something?
Yeah, absolutely. 2020 COVID, we were in a flip. and it was in Tacoma. Great location in Tacoma. It was one of the last flips I did with our company up in Seattle. Still around today, love it, and I think this was a sign of my inability. Like you want to rely on your experience and what you know. So let me start with the baseline of the story. We were in a flip. COVID hit, and I think I think at that point in time, like interest rates started to get interesting, and the metrics were right for this home. Great location, walking distance, like across the street was a coffee shop, a butcher's, a small market, you name it. Great views of 2 blocks away where you could see the entire Puget Sound. Old Town Tacoma. Awesome place. If you know where Ruston Way is, really close to Ruston Way up in Tacoma. We got into it. The project took us a little longer than what we thought. It led us into COVID, which then created a little bit of a market scare. And at that point in time, to date the only loss that we had on a flip. We ended up taking a loss on that flip to exit the market. And it was unanimous. All of us business partners, that's what we decided to do. Hindsight, like, shouldn't have done that. Because all our metric, we should have counted. It was our first chance to really lean on why we made decisions with flips. Can this rent? Can this be an Airbnb? Can we cash flow this regardless of whether we sell it or not? And last but not least, do we believe we can make a profit on the flip? The profit part became to be shaky, but we didn't rely on our metrics. We didn't rely on the math. Math doesn't care about how you feel. Math doesn't care about what your emotions are. Math doesn't care about the market. The math is what the math is. And these two were still strong. However, we had never gotten to a point where we had to lean back on those. So what ended up happening is we ended up selling, only loss we took on a flip to date. And something that reflects in that is like putting yourself in a position to be successful and being able to see examples of what you've created as your system to be successful. Fear is an emotion just like anything else. And it's about processing the fear and saying, okay, is this fear reality, or is this fear based in math? Is the math pointing in this direction? Are the statistics pointing in this direction? Now, I will say it's hard to tell when it's the first time where I can't recall a time in our history of our country where we've shut down entire industries. One of which was considered non-essential was construction, funny enough. And we were one of 2 states in the entire country that considered that when we started Hammer Falls. But the big thing in that period of time was also like, we flipped homes. That's how we started our organization. We just flipped homes. We were flippers. And I think not being malleable to what the market had available, because in that space, a lot of other opportunities were created. A lot of other opportunities to serve the community at a whole were made. And when someone has a business plan that's very narrow, when that particular opportunity is removed, it becomes tough. I recently was asked, like, Nate, why haven't you been flipping recently? It's funny, we just picked up a flip, but why haven't you been flipping recently? And my answer was like, because my job is to provide for 25 people's income. And that wasn't going to do it anymore. My job is to be accountable to the people who put their trust in me. I have one job to do. Paychecks are on Friday. That is my promise.
Get it done.
Period. So it doesn't really matter whether we're building fences or ADUs or custom homes like we are doing now, or doing commercial jobs. We have a contract with minor maintenance with Alaska Airlines. Like, all these things expand out, and people are like, hey, Nate, you should really narrow your focus. I was like, I'm not just a general contractor that subs out like subs to go do the work. 80% of everything that's done, every project that you see from us, 80% of that is W-2 employees.
That's very different in your space.
It's very different. It's not seen. There are 2 other companies I know of in Oregon and Washington that do it. But it is not seen in our space. Most companies focus on project managers, subbing things out, getting lean when the
They're
economy
just the money
changes.
guy. They're the intermediary. They're the person who has all the connections. They're trustworthy. They need to be they're a point person more than anything else. Like most GCs are great at organizing teams, getting projects going, and things like that. But you're the whole kit and caboodle, as they say.
Yeah, and once we own a plumbing company, we will be the whole kit and caboodle, except plumbing, drywall, and texture. That's not fun.
Yeah, why do it?
Yeah.
He's just second guessing himself right now. It's like, wait.
He's like, hold on. So when's the last time you second guess yourself? Well, about 9 seconds ago.
Yeah. Let me tell you when.
But you're the only one who owns a business, though, right? You have no business partners in Hammer Falls or all these other ones, or
No business partners currently in Hammer Falls, but actually that's not true. We are one of my employees who's been with me since the beginning. Josh Sturdivant, shout out, love you, dude.
Good dude.
He
Met him several times.
he owns a percentage of Hammer Falls.
Good for him.
Yeah. He earned it.
job,
He's
Josh.
been with me from the beginning. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
slacking on your job there. We need one every time. There we go. You made up for it.
Sorry.
And then Blackout Electric, I own with a master electrician. Part of the licensing also requires that. So his name's Sheldon. I've known him. You know Sheldon Stevens. Josh
Shout out
Russell.
to Sheldon.
Yeah, Josh Russell's little brother. Yeah. So I own that with him. And oh, jeez.
I'm sure if I saw his face, I'd know it, but
Yeah.
can't. I just know so many people, you know.
So I've known him.
I have no idea.
I've known him pretty much since I moved to the U.S. So that's a great relationship. And then Megan and I probably own like 8 other entities in different formats and ways. Those we all own, majority of which we own individually. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just kind of curious on that. You made it seem like it was such an easy kind of decision, but also wasn't when you guys sold the house at a loss. You had 3 other partners. You said
2 other partners.
2 other partners. So you guys go all together. You said there's 3 areas you guys are focusing on for money, right? And then one of them was the only one that didn't work. You said the other 2 could have worked. So did you guys fight over it, or did you guys? Was it pretty clear as day, or how did that conversation go when you guys are deciding to take a loss together?
Yeah, absolutely. So to this day, we're still, I feel like if I were to get married today, they'd be in my wedding. Like, still have a really great relationship with these guys. Amazing folks. In this particular case, it was one of those things we had never experienced having to fall back on those other options. That we've never done that before. We never had to. So,
So it was unanimous.
I think we all explored the options. Yeah, we all explored the options. I definitely leaned toward the Airbnb because I owned other Airbnbs already. So I had experienced those successes. And when you haven't experienced those successes or that experience, sometimes it's harder to see. It's harder to see through the experience.
Well, if you can't see how you're going to make your money back, it's tough to move forward.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
100%.
that's any typical investor, business owner. It's like, I should have a good understanding of how I'm going to make all my money back and what time and what's reasonable. And if you can't see that,
Yeah, and it's important to also understand that time
tough.
period. Like the stock market was reeling too because they didn't know what was going to happen. So exiting our investment and just throwing it in an index, in theory, would make up the losses at that point in time. So there was other strategies on the table for all of us too. And man, like the thing about experience, it's a pretty tough teacher because it gives you the test first and the lesson later. And that's
the test first and the lesson later.
yeah.
That's a clip right there, Kiana. Stop right there.
The test first of the okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
and that seems unfair, but that's how you earn that experience, and that was our opportunity. We took the tests, and we received the lesson later. It's what you do with the lesson, and it's how you retain the lesson, and what you do after that builds you. You don't grow through winning all the time. You don't. Rory,
sure.
Rory's a great example of that. Like, he missed a club length putt to lose to DeChambeau, and then comes back and wins it when Bryson was able to come back and get a relatively great lead.
Well, dude, not even that. On that last day in the Masters this year, he missed another short putt that would have won the Masters,
Yep.
and they had to reset. Mm-hmm. Do you hear what his sports psychologist said to him after that hole? Okay, this is fascinating. I'll paraphrase. I can't remember the exact words, but the basic concept, the biggest event of the year for golfers.
Yeah.
A guy has like a 4 or 5 foot putt to win the whole thing. He is one of the best golfers in the world, and he misses it to win the whole tournament. So they have to go to a playoff hole, which is crazy because this guy's been in the lead. He was in the last group the whole day. Like he should have won this thing going away, and just didn't happen. Just fell apart. The pressure of the Masters, of the back nine of the Masters, is unreal. So he misses this putt. They have to go to a playoff hole with this guy named Justin Rose. And so the sports psychologist says we would have taken this on Monday. He's, if I had told you have a one hole playoff to win the Masters, would you have taken it? He's like, absolutely. He's like, let's go get it.
Oh, I love
Isn't
it.
that great?
Let's
we would have
go.
taken, like, if I had told you, you give me one hole to win the, I'm in.
Dude, that's goosebump. That's goosebump territory.
Reset immediately. And how many times have we gotten into business and life and relationships and been like, dude, it gets skewed because of success, because of business, because of all the companies you own, all the different entities. It gets skewed. You're like, listen, if I had told you 10 years ago that you're going to own all these companies, you're going to have all this stuff, and you're going to have one flip failure, would you take it? And everybody's like, yeah, absolutely. You're like, what are we complaining about?
Dude, and there's that's the one big failure I can think about, just to highlight. It's a rocky road all the way through. You have wins and losses every single day. Personally, relationally, financially, in your own personal life, with your family, with your kids, with your mother-in-law, with your father-in-law, with your own parents. There's all these, and this is no different from any other person's life. You're just adding more relationships as you expand your business. If you have the model that I have. There's a lot of business opportunities out there that it relies on your time, your effort, your place, and it can sometimes, it allows you to be a little bit more flexible with the relational management of caring for people properly, because you're taking care of your clients and then yourself, and then potentially your family if you have one. And where when you start to get into the territory of having like teammates, you're taking responsibility for them. It matters. And it's why we haven't narrowed our focus. It's why we haven't done X, Y, or Z, because my job is one job and one job only. Paychecks on Friday.
Listening.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're devoting, we're all putting in something that we'll never get back. No amount of money I give anybody or myself will make up for time. And we work in an industry that's pretty tough. It's pretty labor intensive. So let's put people around us.
AI is not coming in and cutting up your boards anytime soon. They're not putting your trusses in. They're not putting your roof on. They're not putting your floor on. They're not pouring your foundation anytime soon.
AI is not going to go into your 1913 home and modernize it.
No.
It's still unique.
I tell you what, you get those Tesla robots a few years.
If they can carry the lumber up, that'd be great.
Yeah, dude, that was my job growing. That was like my first like real job. I was like 16, 17 years old. I framed houses in the summer for these two ginormous men who are like this Russian Australian mix. They're both Russian Australian and met each other in Salem, Oregon. They're like the same bloodlines, and they're the most ginormous people ever. Just huge humans. And then one day they're like, Gans, we need the sheeting on the roof for the roof today. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like scrounging around, like looking around. He's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, I'm looking for the keys. He's like, what keys? He's like, carry it. I'm like, no. He's like, one by one. They didn't care how much it cost. It was one by one on your back. You're talking like tongue groove, like 3/4, whatever it is. It's like it's like 7/8 plywood. The tongue groove is like, you put that up 3 flights of stairs at 16 seconds. It was as heavy as I was. And they just thought that was the funniest thing ever. Just watch me bring sheets of plywood up the stairs all day long and almost die putting them on the roof. They thought that was the greatest.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't. They just call them, they call you the gopher. It's the standard. It's like,
Yeah,
go
it
for
is.
this, go for that. It's what you do.
And we're trying to reshape what that looks like, because we want to see people who are coming out of high school looking at other opportunities too.
Yeah.
Like we want kids coming out of high school and thinking that there's an opportunity, and we want to raise strong men and women in our community, because strong men and women in your community create a strong community. So if we have an opportunity to reshape what construction looks like, the work is what the work is. There's no way around that. But how you grow people in it, how you treat people in it, there's opportunity for growth. And that's really exciting for us. We get pretty pumped up about looking at that, because it's easy when you're hitting your hand with a hammer and throwing up boards and framing to get salty. Quite literally, you sweat a ton, and at the end of the day, someone's like, "Oh, well, what about this?" And you're like, "Well, I just put 8 hours in my day to fix that." So,
So we're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
and it's really, there's a lot of opportunities in construction, and people who don't do it don't know, and there's a lot of opportunities just to feel like disassociated a lot of times. So we're trying to bring the humanity back into what we do, not just in how we communicate and engage with the people around us, but how we care about the people around us, not just clients, but our teammates too, and making sure that that's reflected. Yeah.
Bringing that family culture.
100%.
Yeah.
Has it always been that way for you?
Yeah. I mean,
Since I've known you, it's been a consistent message, but I don't know where it started.
yeah. Man, I honestly, like, so, I mean, you guys know this. I have a pretty big relationship with Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. I don't know a ton, but I know someone who does. And I've had the opportunity to kind of just be raised in a culture of like caring, loving, bringing people in. I would also say, like, growing up in Eastern Europe, like, people have really high outer walls socially. Like, here in the U.S., we have 2,000 Facebook friends or whatever, but how many of them are deep relationships? Well, back in Eastern Europe, at least back then, there were really high outer walls, so you didn't socially just make friends. That wasn't like something that happened. However, they had very low inner walls. So once you had these deep connections, once you had these relationships, it was family, it was community, it was sharing life together. And I think that culture corresponds with the gospel of loving and caring and walking the journey with people. Like, I might not be able to teach somebody everything, but if you live with me for 3 years, you'll learn everything you need to know about what I do and how I do it.
Yeah, we used to have a phrase that caught not taught.
Yeah. I love that. Bookmark that. I'm gonna take that one. That's a good one. But
It's the only way to learn some things.
It is like, walk the journey, walk the path, the only way you're gonna climb the mountain is by climbing the mountain. There is no magic trick to the hard work. Like, rent a helicopter and get landed on it, sure. But like, you didn't climb the mountain. If you want to climb the mountain, if you want to walk the journey, there's no shortcut.
You don't learn the lessons in flying to the top.
You don't. The effort is what builds the character.
Yeah.
And that builds a family too, though.
Yeah.
I think like now I think about it, you're right. Like some of the strongest relationships I had growing up were the ones that, like the 2-a-days, going through 2-a-days with you in football. Nobody else knows what that is like, right? That's why it was so painful at the end of a loss, in the playoffs and stuff. It's like, dude, we fucking put in the work, sweat, blood, tears, the losses, the pains, the fights, and everything. I mean, just even when my first job hay baling, right? The 2 guys I was hay baling with, like, we became super close because we fucking worked our asses off and sweated together and freaking loaded up we saw the work at the end. And then afterwards, we didn't know each other to start. And then afterwards, became friends and went off, to the river together and all sorts of stuff. But that labor-intensive work that you see the finished product is what builds family. You
really do. I mean, whether it's sports or character, like, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And we're trying to hone and practice that every single day. We practice those relationships. And what I mean by that is like, we're living life together. That's the one thing that's great about W2 guys showing up to work every single day together. Like, that's their core. That's our family. That's what we went out to accomplish. Like, you can get on TikTok or Instagram and all those and see a million people talking about a million different things. I can tell you, not a single one of them did it alone. Someone required a client. Someone required someone to believe in them. Somebody required investment. Someone required somebody to do X, Y, or Z. You want to see a successful long-term business, and it doesn't necessarily need to be multiplied by the millions, but it could be multiplied by the amount of lives it's changed, and the amount of lives it's influenced. And nothing against like those roles or those opportunities or those responsibilities, but like, it maybe coming from the construction industry, I'm a little bit more biased, but I truly believe that hard work at the end of the day pays off. And if you're with a community of people who believe that and are living that, like, the multiplier just becomes bigger. And the multiplier is lives changed. Like money may not exist one day. I know how to brew beer, make liquor, and make the lights turn on.
And I know how to get to Nate's house.
yeah. So I
love that.
like even if I was captured by like some raiding horde in like a Last of Us scenario, I was like, hey, I know how to make hydroelectricity, and I know how to make lights turn on, and I can also make liquor. So like I'm probably the most valuable person in like a world end scenario.
You'd win a lot of competitions. With a lot of Survivor years, you would have taken it.
Dude, yeah, if they just give me a car alternator and a running stream and a focus point and enough materials, I could figure it out.
As long as they give me everything I need.
As long as I have all the copper.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that's crazy. I love it. So these lessons obviously come from a deep place of personal experience. Obviously, some of it comes from the ebb and flow of successes and failures in business. It sounds like a lot of it also comes from a lot of personal relationships and conversations. When you were just beginning to make the launch into the construction business, at that point, your only experience had been your personal flips at that point, right? And how many houses did you flip before you decided to actually have your actual own business?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot.
How,
it would
like,
take
on
me
a
a
scale of 1 to 10, how confident were you going into that business, the construction business, like making a full switch out of your W-2 job because you were with the Jazz,
Yeah.
and you were making the shift there? Like, if you could put a number on it, how confident were you?
Confident enough where I needed my wife to encourage me to do it.
So I'd say a 6, and she pushed you to an 8.
6.2.
Yeah. You always fight for security and freedom. You can't have both. And
Back up. Why not?
This fight between security, and I can tell you it's a false front. But like a W-2, you're counting on somebody to make sure that paychecks are on Friday. You're counting on somebody else to be responsible for that. And you think there's this feeling mentally for most of this security. If I do this, I receive this. Fair compensation or whatever. Or where when you're starting a business specifically, you're giving up that. There comes a point.
Sure.
There's
a transition.
There is a transition.
Okay, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so it wasn't
I don't feel
it wasn't a
like-
blanket statement for, I think, for the totality of
Sorry.
everything. It was just the
Yeah,
beginning.
okay, that makes sense. Thanks for
When you're
clarifying. I
first
appreciate
starting,
that.
because I was on the same boat.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't
hold on
believe
a
it.
second. Like, wait, what?
I was like, was it
I
the-
feel much more secure now than somebody else doing that job. I
correct.
trust myself to do it more than trusting most other people.
We just miscommunicated for a second.
Yeah, I actually said when you're starting.
Okay, that
when
makes
you're
more sense to me.
starting, there's this transition phase.
100%
And
agree.
then once your business has been around long enough, and once things are going, like even at this point, like you and I've joked about this a million times. Like, yeah, if it all failed, I'd just do this 10 times faster.
Yeah, it's like I would build it back to where it is within a year versus 4.
100%. And seeing the difference.
You know what to
even,
do.
Yeah, and seeing the
It's
difference.
a lot
even,
of years of learning and failing that you don't have to redo.
100%. And seeing the difference just between like Hammer Falls and Blackout, our electrical company, like it's night and day. Like we didn't overhire, we didn't overstaff. Like we're ensuring that cash flow is more manageable, and being able to bring Sheldon on board, who has that focus and 100% attention to that. Like it's such a game-changing experience when you have people who have that same mindset and that same attitude to walk the journey with you. It's really incredible. It's special. It's special.
Ah, Shelton, my good friend.
We were just going
No,
to the
okay,
same
real
thing. I was
quick.
like, he's the
Whoa,
one.
before we do that,
Go ahead.
you did. I'm all for a good whiskey, but you did bring in some pretty badass beers. Is there a way we could try one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. We can get that beer party going too.
Yes. Is there, David? Do you think you could grab those? Because we did agree that we were going to make this podcast episode beer, whiskey, and all debauchery.
All debauchery.
All debauchery.
Yes.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Turn off the cameras for some of these things. All right, explain what
in
you
the
got
world
here.
Did you bring over here?
Lord, not my
So for
fault.
those of you who don't know,
Nate White is awesome.
he's a beer enthusiast,
I am a beer
a
enthusiast.
Scotch enthusiast.
Ghost cows, dude. It looks like that's very
Yeah. Okay.
appropriate.
So let me just highlight this real quick on the podcast.
It looks like you and Mike hanging out.
All right.
Which one am I?
Like,
I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Which one of you has a certain tone.
Okay. Ghost Cow. Check it out. It's a collab between Vice and Brothers Cascadia. Absolutely great beer. Go to either location. It's
Do you have
fantastic.
ownership in Brothers Cascadia at this point?
Yeah, and only in respect.
Oh my God, you should.
Hopefully.
They should give you commissions because you talk about that place all the time.
Darth
Where do you want to go?
Blazer.
Brothers Cascadia.
Do you know why?
I went and got another chicken sandwich the other day, by
Do
the
you
way.
know, do you know why?
Because you like them?
No. They were the one place that let me show up early when I was starting all my businesses in Vancouver.
What do you mean?
So, quite literally, I don't drink coffee. Yeah, whatever. I don't drink coffee, so like going to a coffee shop, opening up my laptop wasn't a thing. And when I transitioned from Fans, Utah Jazz, I didn't just plant Hammer Falls Construction. I planted multiple seeds. Like I still had business to business relationships, like selling other products to other organizations, and I continued to keep those. I continued to develop those. So like the guys at Brothers Cascadia, Richard Sherman and Jason, like they help facilitate that. They would allow me to buy a water and go sit upstairs and be online all day long on a computer, building relationships, making connection points. And then when I was done with that, I'd go sit at the bar and I would just buy people drinks, hang out there all day long. And those relationships developed into a community. And I can tell you right now, community supports community.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
That's
So-
freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
So like that's the untold story. So
That's
yeah,
great.
Sherman Gore, Jason Boss, Richard.
Darth Blazer.
Darth
Yeah.
Blazer, we got Darth Blazer, Ghost
you.
Ghost Cow, and then this is
Okay.
your brain on nugs.
This I have to try.
All right, I want to give this
propensity
Ghost
to do
Cow.
other things, not alcohol.
You trying? Which one are you trying to use? Signal whiskey.
You know what?
I'm just
I
gonna
just
have a sip of this.
talked a big game.
Goodness gracious.
Are we shotgunning these or
Ghost
what?
Cow.
No.
Ghost Cow. No. Whoa.
First of all,
Oh,
this is-
6.9. 6.9. My bad.
Dude, first of all, this
My
is 8.2. Here, shotgun that thing. The next podcast will be really fun today.
Haley's like, "Are you guys okay?"
Haley's like, "Hi, Haley, how are you?"
There's nothing worse being at like a sports game with your family and the guy behind you is leaning in like this, going, "I'm about to get rowdy." God's real proud for the people around
And all
you.
he has on are overalls.
I'm about to get rowdy.
All right.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Cheers,
to Brothers
gentlemen.
Cascadia.
To Brothers Cascadia for letting Nate
And-
get his dreams together.
Hey, cheers to you two and to the house. All right, there we go.
That we are the house. I love it. And to us too.
And to us too.
Oh yeah, let's go.
This is your brain on nugs. What? This is hilarious.
Is it good? It seems like it'd be like they'd be mixed
Yeah.
with some kind of THC or something in there.
No, it's good.
I don't know what the laws
I'm
are.
not like a huge IPA fan. I know that sounds terrible.
No, you're
I know,
good.
But
You're good.
it's like they tend to be really like. They make me thirsty.
No, I think
I
that's
don't know how else
fair.
to explain it, but I like this a lot. It's great.
I like this one. This is money.
Dude, it's interesting because I started out as a huge IPA guy, but like, I mean, Portland, Vancouver, like mecca of beer,
Dude,
right?
it's just so much, man.
And mecca of craft beer specifically.
For sure.
And I mean, I remember when like all these groups were coming out, Ninkasi, Windermere, all privately owned still, and like
Before
Ninkasi.
Anheuser-Busch bought everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
The payout was nice.
Dude, but like all their beers were like trying to just see how much hop they could put in a man's mouth.
Yeah, I can't say
You know,
that.
it was like the names were like Tricera hops, Total Domination, Hop Czar. You know, like just some wild like names.
And all these subs are buying them left and right, you know.
Yeah. Just give Ninkasi. Thank
I
you.
want to be dominated.
Oh my
Clip
god!
that. So,
Cut the clip, Q. Cut
what's
that
gonna be the
clip.
next
Cut
one.
that clip. We got.
That's a
Blue
repeat.
Drew.
That's a repeat.
Mike blew Drew yesterday. Whoever Drew is, he blew him. He had blew Drew yesterday and today. I want to get dominated.
And Nathan wants to get dominated. There we go. I want to get dominated. Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to PDX.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I feel better now that we both have two sound bites.
That's so inappropriate. Oh my goodness.
That's why we don't have liquor on the show.
Dude, that is honestly great though. Like, it's really funny the odd connections we make in like the most unsuspecting situations. Like,
Yeah.
I need a place to go hang out and work, and I don't go where everybody else goes. So where else am I gonna go? And all of a sudden, you build lifelong relationships with somebody because they were kind to you.
100%.
It's awesome.
And like it goes, dude. It just goes back to what we talked about. No one made it totally by themselves. Because if you're totally by yourself, that means there's no one helping you. There's
Not
no
even
client.
Jesus pulled that off. He had 12.
He had 12. So, but it also goes back to like how like your time. You only can frequent a place so much.
Right.
So I try to frequent the same few places a lot.
How much money do you think you've spent at Brothers Cascadia?
Dude, I bet you
Give or
they
take.
could. I bet you they could pull it up.
What do you think the range is?
I think it's in the 50,000 range.
Do they have
I
a
was thinking like
rewards
20 to
program yet?
25.
Yeah, no rewards program for them yet, huh? You should tell them to do that.
Dude, yeah, they're great. They take care of me in a lot of different ways. They provide business to us as well. Like the relationship is mutual. Like
Yeah.
they're great.
Well, it's a
great
real
group of guys.
relationship.
Yeah, it's a real relationship.
Yeah.
And when you plan on growing a business that's going to be here for a long time, you need to have real relationships. Your word and what you say matters. And I think so much of our community has forgotten about that. There's literally like books that are coming out there just talking about like how to manipulate people into getting what you want. And it's a top seller.
Well, yeah.
Words of Power, or I don't remember what the book is, but like my brother was reading it and then I read it. And I was like, this is a book 100% on manipulation, not coaching, not development, not blah, blah, blah. And this is the best selling book. And that is not how you build lasting, like, I rather make less and build lasting relationships than make more and screw people over. That is
Agreed.
I stress more. Like my anxiety and stress doesn't come from money. My anxiety and stress 100% comes from like, am I creating a good name for my family and my kids to continue to do business here after I'm done doing it?
Yeah, if one of your kids grows up and they're like, "Oh, you're Nate's kid,"
100%. And there's stories about that. And don't get me wrong, you can't please everybody. I understand that, but at the end of the day, like if I could, I would. I want to take care of the people. No one cares what you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
Period. If you get the right to show somebody how much you care, then at the end of the day, they're going to want to hear what you have to say. Potentially.
And that's showing up, though. Like you said, just keep showing up, keep doing right. Yeah. I mean, when I first got in the financial advising or whatever you want to call it, financial industry at the very beginning, then I was going to like all those networking events, constantly every freaking week, multiple times. You would see people like newer guys come in there, real estate, mortgage, or whatever industry. And you could just kind of tell they're like hard selling you and stuff like that. But I just kept true to myself. And to your point, just, like you mentioned earlier, just built connections. Constantly build connections. I mean, I went and hung out with you guys and met you at one of the chamber events. Yeah. And I wasn't selling. It's just getting to know you guys, hanging out again, constantly being there. And
wasn't Nate the first time I met Nate was weren't we at Jorge's Tequila Factory?
Yeah. And then he said you should go buy that person a drink, and I said okay, I'm down for it. And then he said you don't need to buy him a drink, I think, or something like that. And then we bought him a drink anyway, and then they actually became a client like way down the road, and I can't remember who it was, but that was the story.
Wasn't that Nate?
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah.
It wasn't me? Okay.
Yeah,
that was the first place. I actually remember the first time I met you because we were at Jorge's and he had just started working with me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we were at the top bar.
Yeah, we were at the top bar, and you were with your kids, I think.
You were with your dad.
He was like, "Oh, that guy, he's like really into business. Like, you should buy him a drink." Like, let's see how it goes. Like, I didn't know you at all, but that was my first actual time I ever met you, and I'm really sad you don't remember.
Dude, you were down at the booth on the far side, right side.
Yeah, you were wearing that blue shirt.
Dude,
you had your dad with you because I asked your dad if I could still hit his stomach because it was like, remember he's like,
yeah, dude, okay, that I do remember.
Yeah, so I was like,
that
hey, and I brought him up and I was like, hey, dude, I was like,
why
hey,
would
this
you
is
hit
Nate.
his dad's stomach?
Because that's what his dad wanted. It was weird. It's kind of weird saying it out loud.
His dad wanted,
yeah, that sounds weird now.
That's gonna be great. I'm gonna show him that.
Yeah, but that was it. I remember he's always like, fuck, every kid. It sounds so weird saying it out loud.
Wanted.
Kids would walk up and just be like, and they'd break their wrists trying to like punch him in the stomach.
Yeah,
so
that's
move.
serious. It was like my dad, like it was kind of a joke, but I also think it was like the coach. Okay,
CC, you could have checked his testosterone. Those years would have been like, "Come on, kids!
Yeah,
come on,
dude. What are you gonna do? Dude, I'm not.
I was like,
I'm not.
I know. All of our staff are leaving now.
Dude, Mike can attest to this. A part of the reason that like this generation's TCYF kids are the way they are is quite literally that coaching between 5th and 8th grade. Like I remember getting to 2-a-days in high school and being like, I did this in CCYF just because that's what I had to do.
Yep.
Like I kid you not, there was a different generation of investment, coaching, in positive and negative. I totally respect that. Like if you're good, you played. If you weren't good, you didn't play. That's why in 4th grade I wasn't good. I didn't play. And then the next year I was good and I played. So it's just this result of like, there's effort to win. Nothing is given freely, and it requires getting up and doing things. Like how many people are sitting on the other end and they go to bed with their spouse and they spend an hour scrolling?
A lot of people do that.
I bet.
A lot of people.
And I want to just highlight, like, I'm guilty of that, like 100%. And I'm working through myself to like, well, if I'm going to scroll, why don't I start liking things that develop me? Why don't I start liking things that make me better? Or why don't I start following things so that when I'm scrolling, the algorithm starts
Dude, Mike
teaching.
talks about this all the time.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
He's like he talks about like, listen, like if you're gonna consume something that's gonna be helpful.
Yeah.
So he's like, you can train it.
Like these cat videos are great. They got some really high quality cat videos out there.
fucking
man.
hilarious,
They're,
dude.
they're on point. These JD Vance memes, like support or
Yes.
not support, they're pretty on point. They're funny. Like I don't care where your political affiliation is. Humor's humor, and we got to get back to that '90s style of humor where it's just like
Everybody can be made fun of.
Funny's funny. Funny's funny. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Yep.
Like, and at the end of the day, those are great, but they're not making me better. It's a waste of time. If I'm with my wife, talk with my wife. Hey, but if you're gonna scroll through something that's gonna be helpful. Like, there's so much great content out there that like everybody wants to be a creator. So guess what? There's a lot of great creation. So consume something that's gonna help you create better in your own life.
Yep.
Manifest the content that you're like intaking. Like, you become what you eat was something that like parents would always say. Well,
Yeah.
your brain's no different.
Yeah. It's a visual diet.
Here.
Auditory
To
diet.
health.
The whole deal. Oh, completely agree.
To health.
Cheers.
That was wild.
There's a little bit different context, but with my kids, when it comes to screen time, I know people have very strong opinions on like screen time. And some people are like, well, I'm very strict and my kids get this much time on screens and stuff like that. And I think there's some value there. I really do. But we actually break screen time into 2 different categories because I think it's different. First of all, I think it's naive to think that your kids aren't going to be on a computer 8 to 10 hours a day for probably the rest of their lives. Welcome to what most of us do. Okay, especially in our fields, you're a little bit different because you get to be out and about. But a lot of work is done on a computer. If you're editing film, if you're being a content creator of any kind, if you work in an
Marketing,
office, if you
sales,
do any
anything.
emails, if you're marketing, so if you're on a computer all the time, so just that's how it goes. Okay, so. I'm okay with having more than normal screen time, but it has to get broken up into 2 categories. The first one's the normal one. It's consuming, where you're just watching a YouTube video. You're watching a show. Me and my fiance right now are going back through Home Improvement because that's on Netflix. By the way, freaking awesome. So good. It's such a good show.
As a dad now, the references are
Bro,
amazing.
it's so good. It's so fun.
Tim the Tool Man.
But the second is creating. Because you can consume or you can create, and it's different screen time in my family. Because if you're gonna be on a screen because you're recording music, because you're editing a video, because you're writing a book, because you're just like that, have as much screen time as you. If you want to be in a creative mode, you can. In my family, you can have almost as much screen time as you need, as long as you're building something with it and not consuming. Creating versus consuming is a completely different use of the brain.
Yeah.
And so when people say screen time, they only think consumption, but not creation. It's different.
It is very different. My wife and I, TV is one thing. Screen time with like tablets, we have some pretty strict rules on that. It is weekends only.
Yeah.
And I have to have spent 30 minutes on whatever they're doing. So if it's a game they want to play, I got to play it for 30 minutes. And there's multiple reasons for that.
Walk us through. Well, first of all, walk us through what they are, and then how did you come to this?
And how did you survive 30 minutes of Coco Melon?
Yeah, so
You can't.
I've noticed.
Cocaine
Okay,
for- it's cocaine for
I
children.
don't want to get. And so no. Their tablets, no videos on the tablets. Videos are on the screen,
TV.
like TV only. It's only games. The reason behind that is funny enough, not actually the game itself. I'm not concerned with the games. The games are pretty harmless. But it's pretty wild the type of advertisements that they make.
Interesting.
It's pretty wild the type of advertisements they make your kids click. And I don't need to go into too much detail, but some of those are wildly inappropriate for a kid of 5 years old.
Yeah.
And like, you don't need to be advertising a horror movie, a rated R horror movie in the middle of an advertisement. You don't need to be.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, it is strange. And like, these are on the Kindle Fire tablets that like all kids have these days.
And they've already got like the content restrictions and probably like all that kind of stuff, and it still doesn't help.
Yeah, and like, it's interesting. And I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to go down that road. But like,
sure, why not?
The truth about it.
Let's go.
Yeah, the truth about it is it's like, when you get a Fire tablet, if you read their user agreement, they're recording. Like, they can see who's consuming the content. They know
that's terrifying.
They know it's a child, and they know it's a child. So like, and this is, I'm not blaming Amazon for this. I'm not blaming, but like, things are paid and things show up that are not the video game. And sometimes in order to continue to play these video games, they have to do these little side games, and some of these side games are wildly disconcerting. I have 4 boys in my house, and don't get me wrong, it's an animated. It's like it's like a Barbie doll, but like, it's a Barbie doll that has only a bra and like panties on, and you have to dress her in order to get to the next level. And that's a wild thing for like, we deleted that game and we removed the tablets. Like, that's just a wild advertisement to require a kid to go through, is dressing a woman, especially when clearly visually I have only males in my house. Like, I'm not trying, that's stealing away a conversation that I need to be having. Amazon or that advertisement has no right for that conversation.
Interesting.
And that's a weird advertisement, like a mini game, in order to get back to the real game that they have to do. So what are we teaching? What are we doing? Like, how am I, like, I want the
Grooming
conversation.
is what they're doing. They're grooming. I hate that shit. And it usually is. It's like, but it gives them 30 seconds to dress the doll, not the doll, but like some of those. And then like, or you can just do it real quick and then it moves on.
And I'm being serious. How many parents have walked up to your kid's tablet in the middle of the advertisement and the advertisement has gone away? How many parents have walked up while their kid is on an advertisement or a mini game, and all of a sudden it goes away? I would love to know the numbers of parents who have done that. That's concerning.
That'll be a good one.
Seriously, I'm just curious.
I've never experienced that. I've definitely experienced the mini games. And again,
when you have access to the camera and you can create something when another face comes in the thing to switch it, like, this is easy stuff to do.
That's so inappropriate.
So
I
that
never knew that.
Yeah. I don't know if it's real. I don't know. Like, again, conspiracy theory. We went off on a tangent for 5 minutes, but like, But
the point you're trying to make is that you feel a very strong responsibility to protect your children's innocence, and you want to be the one who gives them these life lessons and conversations, not a computer screen.
100%. And not only that,
but that's totally fair.
I don't even know how we got there.
And not only that, but it comes like, each kid's different.
Yeah.
Like, some kids need to, like, my oldest son, love him, amazing, kindest heart ever, and super outgoing, also super sensitive. You can't be a nail and not being able to take the hammer. So like, what I mean by that is like, if you stand out, if you're outgoing, if you're doing all these things, there's going to be criticism. That's just a natural thing.
Sure, you're out in front.
100%. So like, my oldest child, like, I want to make sure to help process, like, how do you process emotion well? How do you filter it? How are you? And so that's what him and I are working on. My second son, he's going to be somebody else's emotional problem. He is brutal. If this was Mad Max, I'd put him up there on the top. And then my third son is a good mix of both. He's socially dynamic. He's able to take a little criticism. He doesn't like losing. My third kid does not like losing. And
what happens when he loses?
Dude, we're working through that. Let's work through the process of not getting what you want, because that's going to happen the rest of your life. And when you don't get what you want, ask why. Figure out, like, map it. Map the course of success. And a single no is not failure. A single no is that you haven't provided what they need, or you're not the right fit or whatever.
No is normal.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach my kid that right now. He's the same way. He likes to be. He's very outgoing, very concise. But then he said "fuck you" to a kid in school and asked him like why, what happened. He's like, I was basically trying to be his friend. And he just like, I don't want to hang out, and he got mad. And I was like, that's okay. I get plenty of people who don't want to hang out with me. Like let's walk through it. Like not every single person is gonna like you. It's gonna be okay. And if he doesn't want to be your friend, why do you want him to be your friend if doesn't want to be your friend? Like if he doesn't want to be your friend, there's other kids out there. You have other friends. Like it's okay.
100%. And creating a roadmap that they understand to be successful with that.
Yeah.
Just creating a roadmap where they understand to be successful with that, because it's basic terms like, hey, where's your energy going? Okay. Why is that important to you? Do you feel like that's going to help tomorrow or today?
Those are 3 great questions. I like those.
And I think it applies not just to kids, but to us. Like, a lot of times we see a nail and we want to make sure it's flush with the wall. And the honest truth is sometimes you just got to take the nail out and reset it. Like not every strike is perfect. And sometimes it's amazing. Like you look at people's time and you look at like their wins and losses. If you looked at it in time, the amount of time they spend on a loss or trying to make a loss right, it's pretty wild. Because we focus our attention on the squeaky wheel, whether that's financial, a person, or whatever, and we want to make that right. We want to make that relationship right. We spend all our time trying to fix it. Well, the truth about it is it'd be much easier just to be like, hey, I care about you. I want you to win. I'm sorry that I wasn't the right fit. Boom.
There's a good quote or metaphor, I guess I like to sharing that too. It's pretty much saying, if you get bitten by a snake, why are you going to chase a snake and trying to figure out why it bit you instead of just taking care of the venom and getting out and moving on?
100%. That is a much cleaner quote.
So yeah, I can't remember where I read that, but I saw that and I was like, oh shit, you're right. Stop trying to figure out why and just heal yourself.
I think for entrepreneurs, the why is important because a good entrepreneur, or like the why is important because it's considered something, a learning experience. A true entrepreneur wants to know why, like somebody who's good at what they're doing wants to know how they failed.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So like one thing that we're implementing is trying to go back and talk to clients. Like, what was your experience with us?
We just talked about
We just had this on our 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Like, hey, you left us, or you're frustrated with us, or things didn't end well.
And to Mike's point, Mike says those are our best clients.
Yeah.
The ones who give you real data. To say, because you don't always know why you did well, because people just brush stuff. They're happy. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like maybe you don't know anything. But if somebody leaves and they give you clear reasons that are accurate, that you look at it, you go, oh yeah, that did happen, right? You can look at some, and you're like, this is a bunch of bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? But then some you hear, and you're like, oh yeah, we did screw that up, or we need to make adjustments, or we needed to do this or that, or the other, whatever it is. Those are some of the best clients we've ever had. As much as I don't like that we learned on their dime.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
And the truth about it is like they feel this way whether you ask them or not.
Yeah.
So like
Find out.
So the truth about it is like the only thing preventing you from asking is either fear or ego. Fear or ego. So go ask them, go talk to them about it, understand, listen, come with a listening heart. Doesn't matter what they say. Come with a listening heart. Understand. And I can tell you right now, you'd be surprised how many of those people still recommend you later.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. This is really interesting because I literally just got introduced to somebody from a former client this week.
Because
They
you
knew-
took
they-
the time
They
to
thought we were the right
listen.
person for the job.
You took the time to listen.
Yeah.
You took the time to be responsible. I watched this podcast called, or video called Bob Does Sports. And I got this line called Hands Up Accountability from it. And I love it. And they just bash each other all the time. And so, they used to have an issue where they were blaming each other on a lot of things. And they started this like, let me see your hand go up. Let me see your hand go up. Okay, hands up accountability. And like that's just become a line in our entire group. Like, no, that one's on me. Let's go fix it together.
Yeah.
Because it starts with admitting you're wrong and then doing what's right.
So let's kind of start wrapping this up. We'll start.
Okay.
I'll just ask a couple last questions. Kind of get your opinions on a couple things. If you had like like one major life lesson or life thing that you would say encapsulates who you are and what you've learned, what would you say to be your core message?
Take your time.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Cue the music.
We can wait as long as we want.
Yeah, but last time we had music on.
That's true. We did. You want to hear the music?
Yeah,
we
that's
have?
not. It's very fair. Yeah, so take
Last
your time.
time I asked
Think-
a stumper, this is what.
Yeah, that's where there's no pressure. We have calming music for you. No rush.
Yeah, I mean, no rush at all.
We just only have a couple more
Just
minutes.
what's your life's motto?
Legacy that you leave behind.
Don't worry, this is gonna go on the internet. Be there forever until an asteroid hits us, and it's all gonna be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you two.
Nice fade.
One prayer I pray every single day is, I can't, you can, please help. And that's surrendering to something bigger than I am. And I think for any person who's willing to sit back and just understand that, like, this is just business. It's just work. The lives behind the work that you're doing matters way more. The lives and the homes that you're creating, the safe spaces that you're creating for people matters way more. The money, the work, it just allows us to continue that mission statement. That's all.
Well said, my man.
Yeah. We're in the business of creating happiness, hope, and home. And if we can do that well, then we're going to create a community in Vancouver, Portland, and beyond of happiness, hope, and home. Do it right, do it once, and do it well. Yeah. That's all I got.
That was one, or was those two? You said you had two things.
That was kind of two combined.
I like it.
I did it in one sentence.
It's great.
Well done.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Mike?
Not much, man. It's I feel like it's more of a warm-hearted episode. You know, you spoke a lot of wisdom, articulated your words well.
Very articulate.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I just wanted to see if I could pronounce that word after a couple of beers. Nailed it. No, I think it's cool, man. Like I said, to see us grow up side by side, you know, going from the puka shell and the bleached hair and the fucking, like, I used to have the gelled hair too, man. He used to look so bad after he starts sweating after the football helmet. He got the, just looks bad when gel mixed
It's
with
like
sweat.
all my mascara's running.
It was bad. Anyway, going from, you know, like from Pee Wee football, you know, reconnecting again. You were actually there before. I forgot about this part. You were there for me in a pretty hard part of my life too when I went back to church.
Yeah, elevate,
dude. You were there and you welcomed me with open arms, and there was that whole group there over Main Street.
Yeah, it's funny enough. They tore down that building. They have a new building now, but they tore down that building. But yeah, it was over downtown Vancouver, kind of off of oh my gosh, what's the park down there?
Esther Shore?
Yeah, Esther Shore Park.
Yeah, there's a big brick
2
building.
blocks. Yeah.
And that's where that's where I kind of, like, when I was lost and I needed help and I went there because I know where else to go. I was like, fuck, where do most people go when you need help in this church? So somebody turned me on to Elevate, went there, and I saw you were there, and we reconnected there. That was huge for me. Helped me get past a huge part of my life. And then we kind of dissipated again and then came back again through networking and business. And then later than that, you know, you met Nathan and you guys fell in love and you realize that we're a throuple now. And
Yeah.
here we are. We're all best friends, 3 best friends. Welcome home.
Thank you, buddy. I own it, so I'm at home. I would say that out of a lot of people I've met, you above all have done an excellent job of staying in contact. Like, there's a lot of times where we get busy enough where we go a couple months maybe without talking, but it's very rarely more than that. Very rarely. And there's a lot of people I really love and care about that I don't talk to almost ever. Like, it's part of the nature of having a family and having a business and, you know, life moving on. You don't get a chance to just connect with everybody you want to all the time.
Correct.
But you've just consistently been a part of my life ever since I met you, and it's been wonderful, and I really appreciate your friendship, so thank you very much.
Yeah, and your message has always been the same. You've always been the same as in the
Your
core.
love for Vancouver's
yeah,
been the same.
love for Vancouver, love for family, love for God. Like, it's always been there. It's been at the core. It's never changed. We may have changed in, you know, just growing up and how we run things and stuff, but the message and the core has always been there. So I respect the living hell out of you for that. Hopefully continue being friends forever, and maybe one day we can go back and join, like, the Beer Man's football league and knock some heads
Dude,
again.
he should join us when we do the beer thing with Michael Dines.
Yes, so
Okay.
we're gonna be doing. You explain it, because I was
Bro,
gonna say
we're gonna do a helium beer tasting with Michael Dines.
Whoa, not what I was expecting
Yeah.
to say.
So
I
we're-
need some context.
So we're gonna do a podcast and we're gonna drink helium beer together. Would you like to join us and Michael Dines?
I would love to join you guys.
This is gonna be
Michael Dines.
hilarious.
We're all gonna be having high talking voices.
Michael Dines is one of those guys that like every time I
can't
see
wait.
him, I'm like, dude, we vibe, but we just don't hang out.
Dude, I was telling Mike about this before he came in. Just go ahead and put that wherever you want. When Mike comes in, I was like, Michael is one of those guys that like I don't have a lot of relationship with him outside of golf or business, like because that's where I normally see him. But every time I hang out with him, I really enjoy my time with him. He's such a good dude.
Dude, giving a shout out, dude. Like
He's a great guy.
community, like a guy who's community based, cares about his employees, wants to see the community win, and doing his best while being a father, while being an
And
entrepreneur.
a very involved father.
Yes,
Yeah.
very involved father.
Yeah.
Like, most of my connection points are dad to dad with him. And like, again, it goes back to just like, dude, Vancouver's building something special. If people aren't
It
looking
is.
at Vancouver,
Honestly.
dude, they're missing it. Vancouver is building something special. We're building a community of people from the community and developing it in a way that we want to see it succeed. Like, we want to see the win. We want to see the win for every business. We want to see the win for our government. We want to see the win for every real estate agent, every financial backing, and our community, creating a place where people can have happiness, hope, and home. And people are diving into it. So don't sleep on Vancouver.
Yeah, it's great.
Vancouver's gonna overtake Vancouver, BC someday. They're gonna be like the new real Vancouver.
The real Vancouver.
The real
Yeah,
Vancouver.
right now it's still not the real Vancouver.
Yeah, when you're around the country and people are like, dude, I'm from Vancouver. Like, dude, how are the terrorists treating you? I was like, I'll double check.
I'm like, I don't know.
The plywood's a little bit more expensive these days, but yeah.
That doesn't come from Canada anyway.
But in all seriousness, like, there are so many phenomenal people in this community who care. Like,
Agreed.
I'm going to give it just a minor shout out, but like, even for Easter, I got invited to 4 different, now I'll say, because you guys support real estate agents, I got invited by 4 different real estate agents to participate in the Easter egg hunt
Very cool.
that they fundraised and put on for kids in our community. And like, that is such a low hanging fruit for families to be able to go to.
Correct.
Especially as our community is going to a density, like the city of Vancouver, developers need more space to build single family homes. It's the number one way for us to like build development and like, quite frankly,
going to
like
condos.
individual wealth. Let's focus on expanding our annexing and creating more suburban growth for people to own their own home.
yeah,
Rentals are not the way. Let people own their own home.
Thank you.
Vancouver, that's a shout out to you right now. Please support the community by building wealth in our community, by allowing builders to build their own home.
that's fucking right.
Amen. James O'Neill, you're on board. Help me with this. Dude,
Love it.
long story short, or like, there's a space where people are in rentals, people are in condos, people are in these, and they have kids in these spaces. They've grown out of the rental space, but the opportunity for them to live in homes isn't available.
Yep.
And right now,
And it's challenging.
it is. And Vancouver right now has a 20-year plan where we're not going to be able to build more homes. So a lot of people don't know about that. But there's a 20-year plan where they're going to focus on density.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
That's what I'm saying.
Density
It's
means
condos.
rentals. Density doesn't mean ownership. Density means rentals.
Yeah. Well, the issue from my perspective, and we'll try to find some way to wrap this out without creating the opening Pandora's box here, though, is we missed an opportunity about 15, 20 years ago to build an entry-level market with good condominiums and things like that, and it doesn't exist. The entry-level market in Vancouver is non-existent.
Yep.
So unless you build condos that people can actually afford to buy as a first-time home buyer, so that they can at least own something, even if it's just the studs in.
Ownership.
You have to own. You have to own
Ownership.
something. But I'm telling you, if they don't start building condos that people can buy, we're gonna lose. Like my kids and your kids, like their starter homes are gonna be $1 million.
Dude, I got a feeling we got to do a round 2. We got to do a round 2.
But we're gonna do round 2 with helium beer.
Yeah.
Helium,
We'll
we're gonna
do
have
it.
a serious
And we're gonna-
conversation.
We're gonna try. What we should do is we should get some like really heady like Confucius quotes or something
dude.
we have to say with helium.
I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
Some
Like,
fortune cookies.
We should do the live podcast we talked about. We should do a live
We should do a live
podcast
podcast.
of
Dude.
helium infused beer.
Dude,
And we can do it at Brothers Cascadia.
dude, I'm being serious. Like, creating a space where like people just, what's the information we need to know right now? We're here in Vancouver. What's affecting us? We're here in the Northwest. What's affecting us? What's real?
In regard to what? Like, what do you mean?
Dude, generational wealth that can be passed down to your kids, your family.
Yeah.
And like
It's getting limited.
Like it is getting limited. So like a conversation, and sorry, we're entering a space where I get really passionate about, hence I say like, let's do a round 2. And the truth about it is, thanks for having me on. Thank you guys so much for having me here.
Very good.
Yeah.
But like the point is like it comes to a point where like if your kids can't save $100,000 cash, they don't have a down payment.
Yeah.
Like it's just like what 22-year-old has 100, or what 25-year-old who just got married has $100,000 in the bank?
A 25-year-old who hasn't 10x their 32 rentals.
Yeah, because if they had 3 days in one day,
They would have been fine.
they would have been fine.
I mean, if
you
I can
just
do it, they
taught
can
your
do it.
kids to have
Yeah.
3 days per day, then everything would have worked out fine. But that's not how it
You want to talk about setting people up for failure? Just explain your success. Like,
What do you mean?
I love that quote.
I mean, this is, you want to set up young people for failure, explain your success in 30 seconds. And that's what they capture on Instagram, TikTok, and everything else.
Got it. Okay, that's why I love this. So, like, Mike and I've talked about this a lot. One of the reasons we started the podcast is because I'm not good at engaging on social media. I don't enjoy the little, like, clips. Like, somebody asked me once in a presentation, they said, how much of the tax advice on Instagram is legit? I was like, 50% maybe. And they're like, yeah, because if you follow this rule, you don't know all the other things that go behind it, you're going to screw yourself
This law applies to
so
Wyoming and
bad.
Delaware only.
Yeah, but nobody knows that. Like, I'm in California, I'll do it. And then you're like, oh, wait, I owe all these. Okay, it's just crazy. And so it's like, I don't know, man. It's just.
All these, like, don't pay any taxes, set up an LLC in this one country. And you're like, okay, well, sales tax doesn't apply to that, which is the majority of what we pay in Washington.
Yeah, that doesn't
So,
include
like,
excise tax or whatever it is. It's just, there's so much to
yeah.
it. And so for me, I just. Honestly, shut up.
No, we can go down a whole rabbit hole,
Yeah.
man. We can do it.
Any hooty booty, helium night, let's make it happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much for sharing a lot of your story.
Thank you.
So much of your wisdom, so much of your passion for the community and your family and the work that you do. And I think that today's just gonna be really encouraging for those who have listened to it, and we really appreciate.
Yeah,
you
they want to
being
hear.
here.
If they want to hear more of you, though, where do they go?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear more of me, tune in to Real Accounting, and we're going to be doing another podcast.
How do people find you?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say, but I messed up.
If you guys are looking to find me, hammerfallsconstruction.com and blackoutelectric.us, because we're nationwide with Blackout Electric.
Can I tell you something interesting? Our admin staff came to us. She goes today. She goes, "Hey, have you seen Nate White's website?" I was like,
She
she's
mentioned
like,
that,
it's so good. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, it's so good. She's like, watch. She takes. I've seen the thing. And she's like, watch all through it. I'm like, it looks exactly like the last time I saw it. But it was so funny because she was excited. She was like, she loved like how clean it was, how simple it was. She's like, this is one of the best websites I've seen because she checks everybody out that we work with, and she's like, this is really, really good. So just kudos to you. That was some raw feedback from our staff. She's like, she wanted me to see it. She was so excited about it.
I'll take the high praise.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
great. All right, buddy. Well, thank you for being here and telling us a little bit more about
The other side. Yeah, like you almost had a perfect ending. Almost. Now it is.
And scene.